So this character's favorite superhero is Captain Marvel. I sure as heck hope that that's not her favorite movie out of this universe because, oh boy, we may have to have a little bit of a chat there. But, you know, to each their own. Ms. Marvel is the latest entry into MCU's Phase 4, which is exclusive to Disney Plus in their television realm. I just finished up the finale moments ago at the time of recording, and oh my god, there is so much that I want to get into and talk about with you guys. But for right now, the secret's safe with me. This video is going to be spoiler free, and I'm going to save heavy spoilers for a live stream. And that live stream, I should note and announce, is going to be happening July 23rd at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. I've got a great lineup of panelists joining me to talk Ms. Marvel spoilers and Thor Love and Thunder spoilers. But for right now, let's dig right into the show because there's a lot to discuss. This follows Kamala Khan, a 16-year-old fangirl of the Avengers, particularly of Carol Danvers, and she's struggling to fit in until she gains her own powers. And the powers come from this nice little bracelet or a bangle that was passed down through generations or something. And it's coming of age and it's a Marvel project, so nice production value at least. Yay! But joking aside, honestly, I wasn't really all that intrigued by Ms. Marvel going in. I am not very familiar with this character at all, but the MCU I think has done it again. They have taken a very obscure character to me, and now I just want to learn everything there is to know about this character. Thankfully, Ms. Marvel, the series, has way more energy and way more passion put into it than the Captain Marvel film from 2019, at least in my opinion. And this energy is all centered around Iman Vellani, which is just incredible casting for Kamala Khan herself. It really feels like she's living her dream. She is so enthusiastic and so charismatic. She was an absolute delight to watch, and I cannot wait to see her appear in the Marvels movie next year, which honestly should not be a spoiler judging from looking at the movie's logo. But even though this is the clear standout and she is an absolute great discovery, one of the great things about Ms. Marvel is the amazing representation, including Pakistani actors. And this family that she surrounds herself with is the most supportive and funny and interesting family that you could ever come across, which isn't really typical of the MCU. I, for one, loved the father in this. He just gets so many great comedic moments to shine here, one of which involves a cosplay as the Incredible Hulk, which had me in stitches. But he, of course, gets some really amazing heartfelt moments, especially towards the end of this series, which had me in tears. I also really loves the brother Amir in this series. He was so fun. And that's especially true when it comes to his overprotectiveness with his little sister's romance life. Again, not really gonna spoil anything, but it does lead to some really great comedic moments, especially towards the middle of this series. The rest of the characters are pretty good for the most part. Her best friend Bruno is your typical everyday doofus. Kamran is your typical everyday bad boy. He reminded me a lot of John Bender from The Breakfast Club. Like, if you put John Bender in the MCU and his mannerisms and his street smarts, that's kind of what Kamran reminded me of. And then you have Zoe, who's your typical mean girl with the TikTok and everything like that. She gets a lot of surprisingly heartfelt moments towards the finish of this series. Obviously, since this is Marvel Studios, the direction is going to be very good. The production value is going to be unreal. And the action sequences themselves are going to be very fun. I actually very much appreciated their approach in presenting this series at first, because it honestly came off to me like one of those 90s sitcoms with like the graphics popping up and just like blaring across your screen. In tone, it actually reminded me of a few episodes of WandaVision where they paid tribute to Malcolm in the Middle. And that shouldn't be a spoiler because WandaVision's been out for a year at this point. Very nice coming of age themes, some very fun action thrown in along the way, and I liked how it didn't necessarily have to rely on other outside projects. And yeah, the focus on Captain Marvel is there. The fandom and the influence is clearly prevalent. But I really appreciated how they didn't have to overly rely on Brie Larson as Carol Danvers all that much in this series. And I'll save the rest for the spoiler review because that's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. So while I really dug this series and I think it's one of the stronger MCU entries in the television world, that doesn't mean that I necessarily think it's perfect. I don't really think I'd put this this over Loki or Moon Knight, or heck, even WandaVision for that matter. Because while they really nailed the first 2 episodes in the premiere on June 8th, which seems like an eternity ago, while those first 2 episodes were great, and while they really stuck the landing with the really exciting finale, those middle 3 episodes were very... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's not boring, but they almost came off uneventful and meandering to me. There is a really nice flashback for episode 5 this time around, which I feel like tends to be Marvel's tradition. Their penultimate episode has tended to be their strongest. Not in this case. I feel like the finale and the premiere both had episode 5 beat in this case. So I don't think the rewatchability factor is as prevalent for Ms. Marvel as it is for something like a Moon Knight or a Loki for me, personally. But that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the heck out of this. I think Iman Vellani was outstanding in this series. I cannot wait for future installments featuring this character. And I want to see more of this family because they were so fun. If I had to make one nitpick about this series, I don't know if this went over my head, but I feel like somewhere along the way, there's a little bit of inconsistency in one family member's reaction to Kamala Khan being a superhero. I don't know, to me, it just felt a little bit out of nowhere and a little bit uneven. But overall, I think Ms. Marvel is very strong. I cannot wait to see more from this character. I'm gonna go ahead and give Ms. Marvel an A-. I would absolutely recommend this series, but seeing as how most of you are fans of the MCU watching this video, you've probably been watching it week to week already. But let me know what you thought of Ms. Marvel down in the comment section below. Go ahead and show your love for this series if you had it. Let me know which episodes were your favorite. Go ahead and start all that fun discussion down in the comment section below. Obviously, I love discussing all things geeky in the MCU, and I love making these videos in general, talking all things movies. But listen, getting to interact with you lovely people makes things all the more fun for me. And hey, if this is your first time visiting the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so you don't miss another second of the action over here. Because going through this summertime, it's going to be pretty fun, I gotta say. And if you enjoyed what you saw today, one more reminder to hit that thumbs up on your way out. That is tremendously helpful as well. I cannot appreciate that nearly enough. And stay tuned for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. We're going to be taking a bit of a break from the MCU until She-Hulk Attorney at Law is fully available on Disney+. That should be a fun series to look at, and seeing as how they're making an appearance at Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con in about a week or so, there should be some pretty fun announcements to talk about as well. So guys, one more reminder to hit that subscribe button because, oh boy, you don't want to miss a second of the fun over here, especially if you're into talking movies and TV like me. Y'all are the best. Thank you all so very much again for your support and watching the video. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!